Formula E boss says series growth beyond expectations. Alejandro Agag says the electric product appeals to both new race fans and traditionalists. Photo by LAT Photographic. Alejandro Agag is the charismatic CEO of the growing all-electric Formula E championship and a visionary who continues to make a lot of noise in a series that features nearly silent race cars. Agag has reason to be excited. The series is welcoming manufacturers Nissan and BMW in 2018-19. Mercedes and Porsche are slated to join with works entries in 2019-20. The 2017-18 season will be the last with mid-car swaps due to current battery limitations. The series kicked off the 2017-18 season, the fourth for Formula E, with a doubleheader December 2nd to 3rd in Hong Kong. The 14-race series makes a stop in New York for a doubleheader on July 14th to 15th, 2018. Autoweek recently caught up with Agag and asked him about his vision for the future of the series. Autoweek, has Formula E's growth fulfilled your expectations? Alejandro Agag, it's gone beyond expectations, no question. We knew it was going to be an appealing prospect, but I don't think anyone could really have predicted that we would be where we're at now in terms of manufacturer involvement and interest. But I also think people probably didn't expect the electric car industry to develop so quickly. 5 years ago, the options for future powertrains were more open, whereas now electrification has been chosen as the way forward by most manufacturers. How much of an endorsement is it to get Porsche and Mercedes on board? Agag, huge. Everyone knows their racing heritage, so for them to believe in us is obviously a massive accolade. But in the end, these companies make their decisions based on sound commercial reasons. Our series is aligned with the way that their business is heading. And of course there is a huge marketing appeal from racing in major city centers. Look at it this way, when we were first talking with the mayor of Paris about maybe having a race there, he told us, if you weren't in electric series, we wouldn't even be having this meeting. Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing, led by team boss and 3-time IndyCar champion Bobby Rahal, is the first team to commit to the Jaguar I-Pace Trophy Race Series. The Jaguar I-Pace Trophy Series. How do you plan to keep costs containable now that you have all these manufacturers on board? Agag, our powertrain regulations are written in such a way that we won't have that problem. There's scope for manufacturers to trial new technologies but within strict parameters to ensure close competition between private teams and manufacturers. Our championship is still a fraction of the cost of other championships and yet it's one where all the drivers get paid, which isn't something that you can say about everywhere. The business model is designed to be equitable. There's been some criticism about an electric racing series that still has drivers changing cars mid-race because of battery limitations. Is Formula E still on track for the 2017 to 2018 season to be the last one that sees these mid-race car swaps? Agag, absolutely. This season is the last for mid-race car swaps. That was always a big statement of intent on our part, and just shows how car and battery technology is constantly developing. What is Formula E's target audience? Is it a new type of fan or is it the racing purist? Agag, I would say both. Look at me, I have been in motorsport a long time, I'm a big fan of Formula 1 and I would say that I'm a racing purist. If you're a purist, then you love the closeness of the competition, the skill of the drivers, and we're in a fantastic position to showcase that. It's just great racing. At first, it might surprise people that there's a different noise compared to what they are used to. But then they come to appreciate that different noise. Now, when I go to racing events with a lot of noise, it's actually distracting to me. Of course, there are always going to be some people who are stuck in a certain way of thinking, and these people, with the greatest respect, are probably a lost cause for us. But it's enough to have an open mind and come and take a look. Nissan is coming to Formula E. The Japanese car manufacturer announced on Wednesday at the Tokyo Motor Show that it will enter next year at the start of the 5th season, making it the first. Jaguar recently revealed the I-Pace support series for Formula E. Was that something you were involved in and would you like to see other kinds of support races? Agag, It was actually their initiative, which is fantastic support and again reflects the fact that our brand values are what manufacturers are looking for. We've also got Autoweek, the world's first autonomous race car championship, as a support series. In terms of other supports, I think that might be tricky because our format is for everything to happen within one day, to minimize disruption to the host city and keep everything moving. The problem would be fitting it all in. What are some of your goals for the future? Agag, we'd like to have more spectators, both at our venues and on TV, so there's a plan to accelerate that growth and viewership, and we'd like to see more local drivers to expand our global reach. We don't have an American or a Japanese driver yet, which is something I would love to see happening. And although we're close to the limit with the number of races, it would be great to have a race in China and the Middle East. There's probably space for another race in the USA as well. Would you like to see more teams and manufacturers? Agag, with the arrival of Mercedes and Porsche, we're actually at our limit. However, that's not to say that there's no room for another manufacturer to get involved, in partnership with one of the existing private teams. That model has worked well in the past, and it's one that any team would definitely welcome. Why you? How did you become the pioneer to make the future of motorsport a reality? Agag, I guess I just saw the worries of society that people had about the future, what they cared for in terms of the environment, and then I realized that the technology, the power and the idea existed to turn all that into a sport. I met lots of people who shared that idea and our enthusiasm brought it to life, but honestly, in our first season, the priority was just making it to the next one. We obviously hoped for success, but none of us ever thought that all this would happen. Formula E boss Alejandro Agag does not think Ferrari is serious about leaving Formula One for the Formula E series anytime soon. Said to be annoyed about the direction of F1 under Liberty. By Anthony Peacock. Racing, Formula E.